Hello and welcome to another Career Codex video. My name is Simon Gray and today I'm asking the question, as an executive job seeker, do you really need an executive search firm to find your next position? For many C-suite, C-level executives entering the job market, the knee-jerk reaction is to compile a CV or resume and then register with executive recruiters and apply for positions online. But if this is what the majority does, can it ever be a high probability strategy for success? Now, before I get into the detail of today's video, I want to be clear that what I'm not saying is that you shouldn't engage the help of executive recruiters. They should be part of any successful executive job search strategy. And as a former professional recruiter myself with over 10 years in the game, I know they do a great job and a tough one at that. What I am saying is that there are things you should be doing, you can and should be doing, that is different just to relying on executive recruiters. And there are three reasons why relying solely on executive search firms can be a mistake. First off, they're often late to the party. Now, organisations often tap into their own network before engaging the services of a professional search firm for three reasons. Number one, it avoids the need to pay a recruitment fee, which at the executive level can be sizable. Number two, it can be a quicker solution, particularly if there is time pressure to source a new hire. And number three, anyone identified this way comes with an implicit recommendation. They're known within the network, which can serve to reduce the risk associated with any executive appointment. These conversations exist in the place I call the hidden market. And if you know of the existence of the hidden market and how to access it, you give yourself a distinct advantage by getting ahead of your competition before the position is ever in the public domain. And what's more, in my experience, at least 50% of all senior positions are recruited in the hidden market. This means that as an executive candidate, it's not only a higher probability place to play, it's also the place to find executive positions others never see. So on to the second reason why you shouldn't rely solely on executive search firms. They can sometimes dilute your message, because who is best placed to communicate your passion, experience and abilities? Well, the short answer is it's you, and relying on third parties to do this for you can sometimes dilute your message to a potential employer. You know you better than anyone else. Your skills and experience are important and something an executive recruiter will be assessing, but can they really convey your message and passion as well as you? Furthermore, executive recruiters are not always veterans of the industry they serve, which can make communicating your experience and your most relevant experience somewhat of a challenge. The message you actually need to put in front of an employer if you want it to result in a favourable hiring decision must speak into the problems they are looking to alleviate or the opportunities they wish to pursue. And as an expert in your field, you're in a far better position than an executive recruiter to speak to the problems or provide solutions. Whether the organisation is actively recruiting or not is irrelevant. There is a possibility the organisation will be keen to meet you anyway. There is a probability that they could create an opportunity to bring you into the business, or that you could inform the specification on a position they're in the early stages of defining. At the very least, you'll be remembered, and in a competitive job market, this matters. So if you really want to stand out in the executive job market, it's your approach, not your CV or resume, that really counts. And then the third reason is that you now have the same tools at your disposal. Executive search firms used to have a monopoly on the market. If an organisation wished to recruit at a senior level, once they'd exhausted their own network, it was an executive search solution they needed to engage. For executive candidates looking for a new position, it was the same story. To find and secure a new executive job, they needed to engage the services of an executive search consultant, but getting through the door could often be a challenge. Executive search firms formed the bridge between executive job seekers and employers looking to hire. They worked hard to build their network, and with proactive headhunting skills and an enviable database of candidates that engaged within the past with the fastest and most efficient solution for an organisation wanting to hire. The value was in the executive recruiter's network and in the database of contacts past and present, which they built over many years. Nowadays, there is another player in town, which is arguably the best talent database and prospecting tool combined in one. LinkedIn has changed the game completely and now gives not only employers direct access to the hidden market, it also gives you, an executive job seeker, direct access to employers. LinkedIn gives you the ability to create what I call an attractive shop window of who you are and what you have to offer In addition, you have the power at your fingertips to use the platform as a proactive engagement tool to research and reach any decision maker you choose. So what stops C-suite, C-level executives taking proactive control of their executive job search? Well, it's a good question. And having coached clients from across the world, I would summarize this into three reasons. Number one, belief. Can you really take control of your own executive job search? Can you really approach organizations you're keen to work for directly? Well, yes, you can. In the executive job market, believing is seeing, which opens the door to the hidden market and opportunities others miss. Number two, confidence. Will organizations really want to hear from you? What if you get rejected? Well, usually an employer is keen to hear from individuals with the relevant skills, experience and passion for their business, providing this is communicated in the right way. Rejection is inevitable and just the cost of doing business. And remember, executive job search is a business in itself and your future is your business. And number three, knowledge. How do you decide what you want to do and on an appropriate message? How do you build a network and approach employers directly? Well, this starts with defining your destination, which identifies your niche, informs whom you should be talking to, and a message that will resonate. Then, of course, someone has the belief, confidence, and knowledge. They have those, but it's critical to have the discipline to keep going, particularly in the face of rejection. And in my experience, to find a C-suite, C-level position can take between 3 and 6 months, sometimes longer. And the difference between success and failure often comes down to who keeps going. So that's really it for today. Executive search firms are an important part of any successful job search strategy. But as I've explained, there are other things you can and should be doing to increase your probability of success. If you found this useful, please feel free to visit careercodex.com where you'll find a more detailed explanation of the points I've made in the blog post. If you'd like to contact me, you can reach me via the website or through LinkedIn. My username is Simon Gray, GrayACA. Please feel free to connect and send me a message on what you thought of the video. Thank you for watching. Until next time, take care and I'll talk to you soon.